let's take a look at our first practice exercise. Okay, so for the first example, you're supposed to create a 1D array from 1 to 10, reshape it into a 2x5 matrix, and find the mean and standard deviation. Okay, so I'm just going to start by laying out what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to create an array 1 to 10, and I'm gonna reshape into 2x5, and I'm going to find mean and standard deviation, right? So I'm going to create array. Let's say exercise 1, right? Because why not? I'm going to put the name of my array, numpy.array, to create my array, a list from 1 to 10. But I've just used how do you even call it? A range, right? I've not tried it with NumPy before, but it should work. And yeah, so I've created it. I'm going to reshape it. So exercise 1 here. So let me rename it because it's easier for me to work like that. It helps me arrange my thoughts. Where did all my words go? Okay, so to a 2x5 matrix, and then I'm going to find the mean and standard deviation. So I'm going to print so mean, right? Then there, and then I'm going to find the standard deviation there. Okay, so I'm going to be putting my mean in here. So mean, right? Then .st. Okay. So yeah, I have my mean and my standard deviation. Okay, so in our second exercise, you're supposed to create a data frame with 3 columns. You're supposed to add a new column for temperature in Kelvin and filter rows with temperature greater than 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so I'm just going to write out what I'm supposed to do. Create data frame with these columns. Okay, and then I'm going to add column Kelvin, and then I'm going to filter, right? Like this. See. Okay, so let's create our data frame. I'm just going to start creating our data frame by creating a dictionary first, right? So we're going to having these as our keys, because when you're creating a dictionary, you're supposed to have a key value per situation, right? So yeah, these are going to be our individual keys that we're going to be working with. So we have to add up our value pair, right? Going to be a list. I choose for it to be a list. It could have been another dictionary, right? According to how I want to do it, I think so. Okay, so here cities. Okay, so let's go for Accra, then Kumasi, then let's see, no, Sunyani, right? Then our temperature in Celsius. Okay, so we can have Celsius, anything really, 55, and okay, and then humidity. To be honest, I don't even know how we calculate for humidity. I'm just going to be putting anything there. If I'm wrong, we would never know. I mean, you would know, but I won't. Okay, so after creating my dictionary, I go on to create my data frame, right? So df will be equal to pandas. We use pandas data frame to create a data frame, right? Right. And then we populate it with our data. In this case, our data is stored in DTS, right? So yeah, this should get our data frame. Let me print out so I'll see if we are actually getting it right. So here's our current data frame. Okay, so next we have to add on a column. When you're creating a column, you have to first access your data frame. You always have to get into the data frame, right? You have to reference the data frame. That's the word, reference it, right? Then we have our square brackets, then a new name for our that we want to create, right? So we want to create a new column called temperature in Kelvin. So like temp K, okay? Temp K is going to be the name of our new column. And yeah, so this is going to be populating with whatever. Okay, so it as long as that 273 plus 273 should do the job. Okay, so df, we're going to be referencing our already existing column in here. This case is temperature. I don't want to type it out, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, there, and then plus 273.15. So this will be added to each individual element in here. Okay, so you don't have to go in there and then do it one by one. Pandas has got you. Okay, just applying it to the column applies to each element within the column. Okay, so there, let me try printing out df to see if we got it in there. So yeah, this is our new column, right? And then the last thing we are supposed to do is to filter temperature to include temperatures greater than 30. Okay, so df, we're going to be referencing temperature again. Okay, see, temperature again, but I want temperatures that are greater than 30. And remember, if we should run this as it is, it will give us a true or false situation, but we want the particular rows that carry this particular data, right, where this is already true. We don't want the Boolean situation, so we are going to access the data frame. We're going to go into the data frame. Okay, and there, this is what we get. This is the rows that have data frame that have temperature greater than 30. We have Sunyani and Kumasi having temperatures at 55 and 78. Yeah, so this is how we generally go about it. Okay, so let's read what we have for exercise 3. In exercise 3, we are dealing with missing data. Okay, so we are expected to create a data frame with null values and fill those null values with the column average. Okay, I went on to just create the data frame because we already carried that in exercise 2. So I just created a data frame and put some null values in there. So what we are left to do is to populate these null values with the columns average. Okay, so we are going to first we have to check if every single column that we are going to be working with is a numeric column. Okay, as you can see, it's not every single column that has numeric values. We have city column having string or object values, right? And you cannot be performing a mathematical operation on string values on objects. So we'll have to first select the columns that we can operate with, and then we'll find the mean values for these columns and populate them with the null values with the column average. Okay, so we'll first find, we have to first select the numeric columns. Okay, so just numeric is equal to, we'll have to select the columns that we want. In this case, we are just dealing with 2 columns that we want, so we won't write any complicated code to extract all numeric values. Okay, we're just going to select them using a list. Okay, humidity, and after we select this column, we are going to be using it to populate these null values, right? So first we have to step into a data frame, right? df3, this is the data frame we are working with, and we want to fill df3 with mean values, right? So we're going to be filling the null values with the mean, but we don't want to fill it with all the means. We are filling it with the means for only the numeric columns. So we'll select df3. So instead of just going like df3.mean to populate the whole or the data frame columns, we are just going to be using the columns we have for numeric, right? Remember that we stored some columns in the variable name numeric, so we are going to be selecting only those columns to perform the mean operation on, and then we are just going to be populating these null values with the means for only those columns. Okay, let's run it to see if it's correct. It says correct. We see the mean values being populated for only the numeric value. I'll go on to save it into a new variable, so that if I should call for it in any other cell apart from this cell, I'll be able to get the full data frame, not just the edited columns, or like won't even get it at all like we did before, right? So yeah, this is it. We have our data frame now stored within df4. We've done all the exercises. I would advise you take your time, go through it again as many times as you need to be honest. When I was studying, I went through this like on a daily to get it logged in, right? Okay, so that's it for today.